Real life.
The music was very
What is going on, everybody? This
easy
is
to
Dr.
hear,
Chris
but I can
Featherstone
barely
here.
hear you.
I don't know why you can't hear me, Bill Apter. This is
I can
Dr.
hear you, but very,
Featherstone.
very low.
I don't know. You need to fix your phone, Bill Apter. We're live, pal. This is Dr. Chris Featherstone here for yet another episode of Unscripted. I'm here with the man himself. He is Bill Apter.
Well, thank you. Or known better in the Samoan world as Apter.
Yes, Apter.
Apter. So, Dr. Chris, I've come here tonight to talk about anger.
Yes.
A lot of anger going on in the pro wrestling world. I'm going to take this piece by piece.
Yep.
Because some of it is borderline shoot, borderline work. I'm going to start off with Tiffy Time and Charlotte Flair. We all saw what happened. I think initially the shock of the fans treating Charlotte like Dominic Mysterio, not letting her talk, not letting her say a word, rattled her.
Okay.
I don't think she was ready for that.
Okay.
I don't think she was ready for that. In the meantime, Tiffany, whether it was scripted or not, was, throwing some bombs at Charlotte. And it seemed that they were now going kind of free-falling. Not free-falling. What do you call that?
Freestyling.
What's that?
Freestyling.
Yeah, freestyling, not free-falling. And I wasn't sure if I was buying this until at the end when Charlotte made that comment about Ludwig.
Yeah.
And then I was told that people in the gorilla position were like, yikes, what just happened? The anger there between the two of them, between Tiffy, even though they didn't seem angry, Charlotte was standing there kind of like, okay. And Tiffy seemed a little angrier. But man, you talk about reality TV, and these two are going to step in the ring each other. Now we have more of a reason to even want to see this match. So what was your reaction when you saw it, Dr. Chris?
I thought it was I thought it was funny. I mean, it gets like that. It gets like that in real life. People usually don't start off with wanting to argue with each other. It's just they usually don't happen unless it's like some structured debate, unless you're on social media trying to find, something to argue about because you're just not happy.
Yeah.
But it happens a lot of social media, unfortunately. But when it comes to real life, usually quarrels begin when two people are probably having just a normal conversation with each other, and all of a sudden there's a slight dig, there's a slight jab, and one is saying, okay, I'm gonna rub that off a little bit real quick. And then the second time they're like, okay, you're doing this on purpose. And then they start to go back. Yeah. And so oftentimes that happens, then that's when stuff starts to brew. And I think that there were a couple of digs that were not on the script. I heard that as well. There were some digs that weren't on the script, but a lot of times, man, you got to bring that emotion out when it comes to the pro wrestling world. Do I think that the 0-3 comment was a bit excessive? Perhaps, but also, there's also been reported times where Charlotte Flair's went off script and started.
Oh, sure. She went off again. She went off script pretty much on this one at the end.
Yeah. I'm talking about just like beforehand. The Ludwig Kaiser was just a failed attempt to do what's called a clapback. You know what I mean? So basically, Charlotte Flair tried to do a clapback. The clapback was very unsuccessful because Ludwig Kaiser is not going to slide in Charlotte Flair's DMs.
No,
Right
but
after Tiffy Time talked about an 0-3, record. That wasn't a really good clapback.
yeah, but
You could tell that when she made the comment and she went out.
Yeah.
And then she had the advantage, and then Charlotte wanted that, that one up, and she didn't really do a good job capitalizing on
so
that.
now here's the work part of this. Do we get on Friday night that there's a special referee now assigned to that match? It will be Ludwig Kaiser.
No, I doubt it.
We can't say no.
I doubt it. That would be such a horrible spot for Ludwig Kaiser.
Well, a lot other than the internet fans, there's no place else that fans, the younger fans, would know that Ludwig and Tiffy were an item
Right.
back.
Yeah. I
so
agree
that's anger number one. Anger number two was, and again, I know this is work, but I haven't seen Bianca Belair that forcefully angry since I've seen Bianca Belair.
Mm-hmm.
When she found out in storyline that Rhea was now part of this whole thing, which of course we knew was going to happen, she became so verbally agitated. I was like, go girl. She was angry, and I liked it. I thought it was great.
Yeah, there was a couple moments where she had a moment with Charlotte and Rhea Ripley in NXT I thought was funny. You don't girl, you don't even go here. I think that was one of the things that she said that really got her over in NXT during a segment with Charlotte Flair and Rhea Ripley. Yeah, I mean, Bianca's solid, man. She's money. I mean, she was
great.
She's really good.
She was great.
I don't understand, and a lot of people share my sentiments when it comes to this, Bill. I don't understand the boos for Bianca. I still don't get it. It makes no sense to me.
Yeah,
she won the Elimination Chamber match. She did everything that she needed to. She won the qualifying match.
Yeah.
She won the Elimination Chamber match. She did everything that she was supposed to do to get into the WrestleMania main event. Both Rhea Ripley and Io Sky basically cheated in a sense their way to get into the WrestleMania main event. If you think about this from a logical standpoint, Io standpoint lost the Elimination Chamber match, somehow was able to skip through the Elimination Chamber, was able to have a title match after Elimination Chamber, after losing the qualifying match, beats Rhea Ripley fair and square. It's Rhea Ripley's fault that she was distracted. Okay, you already made a weird logical leap with Io Sky being in a title match after not qualifying to the match to lead to the WrestleMania. So she beats Rhea Ripley and able to go to WrestleMania anyways. So now you have Rhea Ripley who lost the match fair and square, and she starts beating up both. She starts like pie facing Io Sky and beating up Bianca Belair. And somehow she's in the match too, but Bianca Belair is the one who's booed, and she's the one who did everything right.
Oh, they really booed her because I don't think they're used to seeing her that angry.
She's been getting booed for a couple. She got booed throughout the entire European tour, though.
What surprised me is that the fans this past Monday night were cheering Io Sky more so than Bianca or Rhea Ripley. I think Io Sky is a very compelling ring worker, but she's kind of bland in presentation.
Yeah, I agree with you. I don't.
Sorry about that.
No, you're fine. You're fine.
It's the bad swallowing of the tick crack.
Sure, no problem.
Teddy Long calls it.
Yeah, I'm with you on Io Sky. I'm with you there. She just doesn't. Fantastic athlete. I mean, wonderful athlete, very lovable character, but she just doesn't cross that echelon. She doesn't cross that threshold to like.
She's not showbiz.
Yeah, she just doesn't have that presentation to me.
Yeah.
Like when you're thinking of WrestleMania, you're thinking of the best of the best. You're thinking of like, well, one of the old taglines was the showcase of the immortals, right? Like
Mm.
that was a tagline. I don't see
That's
AO
the old
Sky.
tagline.
Right. It shouldn't be old. I mean, that should still be the aim for WrestleMania. It should be the all-star game of pro wrestling. It should be like all-star game pro wrestling is a showcase of the immortals. WWE should be the showcase of the immortals because you actually have people who are larger than life, at least they should be.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
EO Sky doesn't make the cut when it comes to me as far as
No,
larger.
WrestleMania is more of a week event, not WEEK, I'm saying.
Right.
It's a weekly event. They're not concentrating. Of course, the matches are what's drawing people, but then they've got WWE World. They've got all these other things going on in town, WrestleCon,
Yeah.
TNA, lots of stuff going on. So, it's a whole vacation week for
Sure.
wrestling fans in Las Vegas. So now the next anger is, and I'm so glad that this wasn't predictable. Jey Uso and Gunther, who was wearing such a classy suit, looked like an executive. Jey Uso's verbal tirade at Gunther last night really got to me in a good way.
Hmm.
He showed more, I'm going to call it schmaltz in his interview, in his face to face with Gunther, and there was no attack. People are saying the guy just almost killed your brother. Aren't you going to attack him? They didn't do that, and I was waiting for him because Gunther's wearing the white shirt, which blood would have looked wonderful, aka like Dusty Rhodes used to do, a white shirt and blood.
Mm-hmm.
But they kept it classy, and
Color.
the anger that Jey Uso displayed on Raw, I thought was pretty damn good.
Hmm.
What did you think?
Yeah, I think the emotion was good. It still doesn't it still didn't make sense to me logically. I mean,
No, but
mean, somebody, anybody, beat your brother up to the point of hospice. You're going to come out and kind of humdrum. I used to be afraid of you, but now
yeah,
I'm not
yep,
anymore.
yep.
You know what I mean? Like, huh? I
But I
just
like what he delivered.
Right. So you asked me what I think about it. So
Yeah,
I think that what he delivered, like I said, I think that what he delivered was what he did was good. I think his promo work in the beginning was very iffy. When he started to get his rhythm, I think that toward the end it was pretty good.
yeah.
But again, it just didn't make sense to me, man. I
Okay,
think that
okay.
to me it would have made more sense if Gunther was trying to avoid Jey Uso and he was via satellite, and then Jey Uso could have came down to the ring because Gunther is away from the arena. He's not trying to be around Jey because he knows Jay's going to want to attack him. So Gunther could have been at home chilling out in his house, having a good time, just basically just arms stretched out on the couch and on the sofa, and cameras on here, and basically he's cashing his check on beating the brakes off of Jimmy Uso, gloating about it, and
Yeah,
that's when Jey Uso comes down to the ring and cuts the promo about I was used to be afraid of
yeah,
you and things
yeah.
like
I could see that.
being around Gunther doesn't make sense. If Gunther's gloating about what he did at home and Jay comes and cuts the promo,
Makes it
then that makes
stronger.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah, yeah. All right. Now the next one is a
Okay.
two part of anger. The anger the AEW fans felt that Swerve Strickland got screwed out of the World Championship. Even though it was going to be predictable that everybody knew or thought he was going to get that title,
Mm-hmm.
it didn't happen. And, and they worked it out with the Young Bucks making their return to AEW, which kind of made no sense.
Yep.
How they were involved in this at all. Why Swerve Strickland?
Yeah,
Why would they
doesn't make
screw that up? That makes no sense. So from the point of view of the fans I talked to that night, they were all like, wow, we thought Swerve was going to get the belt. We came here
Yep.
to see him and Nana in the ring with their arms raised and the new world but it didn't happen.
Agreed. Yeah.
That's part one.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree with you. I think that the Young Bucks affiliation made absolutely no sense. I mean, like, unless we miss something, I don't. I follow AEW through, clips. I keep my finger on the pulse as much as I can with AEW.
I don't remember if the Bucks still own a piece of AEW. I think they do.
I think their build is like executives. Tony Khan, he's everything now. I mean, like even in his press releases that we get from AEW, it shows that he's like CEO, head of creative. Like he has like a bunch of like titles that comes with them. But I think they're building themselves as EVPs and things like that, which is fine. I mean, I think
people
the
were very disappointed. Very disappointed in that. Part two of that.
Yeah, I think so. To finish what I was about to say real quick, I think the EVP stuff with the Young Bucks, it's okay as a heel tag team, but I think the heel tag team Young Bucks thing is kind of expired. But then it makes no. I'm not connecting the dots from past affiliations with the Young Bucks and Swerve Strickland of why that made sense.
Me either. Not at all. Not at all. So we'll have to watch Dynamite on Wednesday night.
Yes, indeed.
On TBS. Part two, show went off the air, and Swerve Strickland takes the mic and drops the F-bomb on Booker T.
Yeah.
So now, the anger part here is that the fans on the internet are not talking about the show. They're not talking about the matches. They're talking about that. And Booker T on his show kind of took it lightly. He said, it was kind of a dumb thing to do because people aren't talking about the show, like I just said. And he was, in my opinion, like Booker said, if you have something against me or whatever, talk to me face to face. But I think he was very unprofessional. And I like Swerve Strickland. I like him personally. And I like what he does in the ring, but something like that takes the class out of who you are to do that even though the pay-per-view audience was no longer watching, but just to do that there and people going home, they're going to remember the F-bomb. So your take on this?
I'm with you. I agree with you again, Bill. I mean, I think it's just it's bad taste. It was just bad taste to me, and I just think that and I mentioned this on a previous show about this situation. I think it's that dopamine kick, Bill. It's the boys trying to get a pop. You know what I mean? Trying to get that rise from the crowd that just comes with the territory, man. I think there's times where I think that wrestlers don't really think about the end game when it comes to that stuff. They just think about the rise of the pop.
Yeah,
I think with Swerve Strickland, it was just the rise of the pop in the moment, it's just like, do you sacrifice a relationship or a potential reconciliation, or even to the point where you talk to Booker T about it and you handle it like men do, adult men do, and bury the hatchet? Do you sacrifice that by prolonging it by saying F Booker T to just fans that really don't mean much in the long run?
Why Booker T? Why? It would have meant something more had he done it to John Moxley or someone.
Well, it's a shoot when it comes to Booker T. There was some beef that's going on between Swerve and Booker T. Well,
Hmm.
beef for a while. Well, for a little bit over the past couple of weeks. Swerve Strickland was on Vlad TV. There was some blood. Vlad and Booker T went back and forth on Twitter about Booker T coming in, and there was some discussion. There was some. There was some mention of Booker T when it came to Swerve and things like that, and it went back
Hmm.
and forth. And so, yeah, I mean, it's just one of those things, Bill. I just don't. I think it was bad taste, honestly. It was
Absolutely bad taste. It surprised me
yeah,
because there was no reason to go there at that show.
I
And
agree.
again, it's the internet
Yeah,
wrestling community
yep,
that pops for that kind of stuff. And you
exactly,
can't do
hundred
stuff
percent.
based on the internet wrestling community. It's changed the whole business. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. I'm
I
here
agree
all
with you
night.
100%. Yes, yes. Well said, well said, Bill. I agree with you 100%. You just can't. It's just not worth it, man. It's just again, it's bad taste, and then a lot of times in the long run, and the end game of that is just fans popping for a moment, and then you'll just be yesterday's news when it comes to the internet community. You'll just be the internet. It's funny that the internet community they talk about Tony Khan's booking a lot as far as like, flavor of the month and things like that. But the internet community does the same thing. I mean, like they'll pick somebody that they'll like for a little bit, then they'll shelve them, and then
Oh,
they'll
yeah.
pick somebody else they like,
Yep.
and they'll shelve them. You know what I mean? And so it's like it's weird that the internet community criticizes Tony Khan for doing that, but they do the same thing. And so, like, Swerve Strickland knows the culture when it comes to this internet community. And why would you do something like appease them for a moment just for them to find something else to talk
Yeah.
bad about you in 6 months? You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah. But that's the worst thing I've seen online for quite
yeah,
some time.
I agree.
It
Yeah,
really is.
yep.
Um, One of the people that I saw who looked great backstage, he's working as a producer, was Scotty Riggs.
Scotty Riggs, very nice,
Yeah, he
very
was
nice.
there along with Scotty Too Hottie,
Okay.
and Dean Malenko was there too. It was
Mhm.
just a really some legends and some of the young producers.
Mhm.
Um, the enthusiasm was just it was great. I've got to tell you though, one of my favorite people as a performer and a person is Tony Storm. She's just
Oh yeah, she's
she
great.
in black and white. She's absolutely terrific.
Mhm. Yeah.
Megan Bain, have you seen her yet?
I've seen her on television,
She's
not in real
like that Amazon. She
life.
is
Mhm.
so impressive looking in person. She's
Right.
like they call her an Amazon, but
How
oh
tall is
man, I
she?
mean they have a really great crew there, and I'm glad that they caught up in Philadelphia and had a really great crowd. Do you want to
Yeah.
do some WrestleMania early picks now? What do you want to do?
Let's save that for next
Okay.
week. Got a couple of questions here.
Oh, wait
What's
a
your
minute. Wait a
thoughts?
minute. Wait a minute. Your partner on another show here, Bro Vince Russo,
Yeah.
Eric Bischoff, and he. I
Mm.
mean, I don't know if you saw Conrad Thompson and Eric Bischoff's show recently, but
Mm-mm.
they played an audio portion of Vince talking about a meeting that happened in WCW,
Okay.
and everything he said, according to Bischoff, was a lie. And Eric went off on him, and he wasn't there at the taping, but Eric went off on Vince Russo like I haven't heard Eric Bischoff go off on anybody in a long time. You haven't heard this?
I haven't. What did he say?
Okay, well then we can't discuss it.
What
But
did he
man,
say?
oh man,
What did he say?
Bischoff was hot.
What
Who?
did he say? What did he say?
Well, I can't go around the curse words, but
Oh,
just
really? Okay.
basically that Vince
I'll
was
watch it.
lying about
Okay.
everything and
Gotcha.
making himself look like the good guy.
Ah, okay. I'm
So
sure that I'll watch it before. I'll watch it soon, and I'm sure
we'll
that's.
watch it so that way we can
I'm sure.
actually
I'm sure that Vince
discuss it.
and I
Oh,
would have a
so
conversation about that coming up soon. So
Randy Orton.
go ahead.
Oh, I'm sorry. Again, I'm having trouble hearing you periodically here.
Go ahead.
Randy Orton attacking General Manager Nick Aldis. And I'm hoping, because we haven't had a general manager wrestling a wrestler in many years. I think that'd be very cool at WrestleMania. What do you think?
Um,
No?
2 weeks before WrestleMania, like again.
So what
Again.
does Aldis do? Who's Randy Orton's opponent?
See, what I think it's cool is what I think would be cool is if Aldis commissioned someone to fight against Randy Orton. You know, there's a number of people that he could commission.
I got it.
People are saying Malachi Black.
No, I got it.
I'm not a fan of that.
Rusev.
No, I wouldn't want to see
they've
that.
been involved before too.
I wouldn't want to see that because I think that the Rusev Randy Orton feud is one of the things that really hurt Rusev, because Rusev was Randy Orton was a babyface like he is now. Rusev was a heel, but WWE never turned the switch on the Rusev Day craze. And people were chanting Rusev Day. There were T-shirts. There were tons of merch. And people wanted him to turn babyface, and WWE never turned him. And it just didn't make sense to me why they didn't do that. If Rusev comes back as a guest or as a mystery guest, he'll be cheered. I don't think that will help him at all.
I don't know. I think depending upon how they bring him back,
Rusev should come back as a babyface, personally.
Yeah, but I think depending upon how they bring him back, where if Aldis says he's got this machine and he brings Rusev out, and because Orton's the babyface, I think Rusev comes back as a heel to start with.
Right. I don't think he'll be cheered though. I mean, I don't think he'll be booed though.
Okay. All right.
Yeah. I mean, there's no point of coming back as a heel if you're going to get booed. You already know that people are going to chant Rusev Day as soon as he comes back. Like, Bill, I know that you're in the bubble a lot, but just if you stand back from the bubble and look at it, like, it's easy. Yes, thank you very much. That was a really good wrestling pose, by the way. That was a really good old school wrestling picture pose. I think it'll be easy to detect. Understanding fans will cheer Rusev as soon as he comes back. Everybody, because people in the internet is going to know who Rusev is, and that's
okay.
The people who are going to know. And there's so many people like, oh, I can't wait till Rusev come back. There's already a sense of excitement of Rusev coming back, and he's going to come back Rusev Day, and because he's so into it, he's going to play to the.
So then, who's the guy in your opinion? It's not going to be Malachi Black. I don't think so either.
Agreed. Huh? Yeah, I said I agree. I don't think it's going to be Malachi Black.
Yeah, because he can't come in and do a job.
Agreed. Yeah.
Right.
I would honestly, man, I'm totally fine with Orton versus Karrion Kross. I think that would give Karrion Kross a spot at WrestleMania, which he should have won. I mean, based on his character, I think he should have won. Kross against Styles, I mean, that's going to be on Raw. So if AJ Styles beats Karrion Kross, it wouldn't make sense of Karrion Kross.
No, but it's AJ Styles against Logan Paul.
No, I'm saying, like, so if AJ Styles beat Karrion Kross on Raw, it wouldn't make sense of Karrion Kross win against Randy Orton, unless AJ Styles, it's just smosh finish with Logan Paul being a part of it. And so basically what could happen is Orton's cutting a promo, and then Karrion Kross attacks Orton at the following SmackDown, which can lead into a match between Orton and
well, I think, well, of course, we'll find out this coming week, or it's going to be Nick Aldis.
We'll see.
Possibility.
Yeah, we'll see. I agree, it's a possibility, but I mean, what's the end game for that?
It's a possibility.
Yeah, what's the end game?
Yes.
What's the end game to that?
What's the end game to that?
Yeah, what's the end game? Yes.
I don't know. Haven't thought it out yet.
Okay.
But I think the fans would like to see it.
Yeah, I mean the fans, they're going to pay to see anything. I mean,
Well,
like,
you
again,
get the general manager. The general manager has been attacked, and what's he going to do? Who's he going to get? Well, I'm going to do it myself.
so
Doesn't need to be an end game.
so how was so now all this is the baby face or the heel in this?
Well, he's got to be the heel. The fans are going to boo him because they're going to cheer Randy Orton.
So why would he be the heel?
Well,
Okay,
because
because
he becomes more of a heel commissioner, general manager.
yeah,
He starts doing things against the baby faces.
okay,
Why not?
sure. That doesn't woo me whatsoever, but we'll
All
see.
right. Well,
We'll see what happens. So
don't buy a ticket for it then.
I haven't and I won't.
I know
Matter
that.
of fact, Vince Russo and I will be doing the post show on WrestleMania both nights. So go come check us out here on Sportskeeda, and we will be having a great time as we
And
go.
I will be there.
You will. Bill Apter,
I will be there in the press lounge.
Let us know what else is going on.
Well, be in Las Vegas for WrestleMania, staying at the Westgate Hotel, where the residency of Barry Manilow is. He's gone that week, so I'll have to do his show. Going to go to WrestleCon, of course, WWE World, and both nights of WrestleMania, and the Hall of Fame. I'm very excited to see if anything will work out with Sting to be able to induct Lex Luger. I don't think it's going to happen. And very excited to see if I know Diamond Dallas Page will be there to see if Lex will be able to get up out of that wheelchair and take a couple of steps to the podium.
Gotcha. Sounds good, my brother. All right, this guy right here is Bill Apter. I'm Dr. Chris. Hey, we are heading over to Pancakes and Power Sam's.
Happy anniversary.
Thank you, my man. 13-year anniversary show. We're going to have a live WrestleMania trivia competition. I'm bringing back my Versus series. When EC3 is a former winner of a Versus game. Now he's going to go against Aaron Stevens, formerly known as Damian Sandow. It's going to be lots of fun. Come check us live.
I am horrible at wrestling trivia. Terrible. Everybody calls me a historian. I can't remember all that stuff. Terrible at it.
Well, there you go. We'll be here to have a great time with the trivia. This guy right here is Bill Apter. I'm Dr. Chris. This is Unscripted. Have a good night, everybody.
We'll see you next week right here.
So long.